Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon. Okay. So from today we start something new. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
You,
yes. Tell me.
your voice is not. I cannot hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit, sir.
Little bit. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon. The others have the same problem. Is there a audio issue?
No, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you properly.
Okay, then I guess Shubham, it's network is you have some network issue, I guess. Maybe.
Yes, sir. So, the voice is cracking too much, sir.
Okay. Because everybody else can hear me properly, so I guess might be something with your network.
So,
Try to
so
speak.
now it's fine, sir. Now it's fine.
Okay, okay, very nice. So from today we'll start two things, a new thing, new topic, and keep practicing those materials. And I guess Shubham, like you did those photo batching, right?
Yes,
So the photo batching fine, but make sure combine it with paint over it and combine it with that and blend it nicely. That's the most important thing, like blending. That's the most important thing. You should learn it properly because future will be using only photos and painting and blend everything together. So that is something like you should know, like something we should be able to paint something not exactly this quality, like slightly simpler is also fine. And like something, some portions, let's create something. I'll show you the entire process. You can create these kind of stuff very easily, and these might seem like a bit complicated, but if you follow the steps, all the steps properly, you can do it very easily. These are not very difficult. It's just a matter of practice. Okay, let's see something nice. Fantasy. Okay. Ah, simple. Let's create this one. So I just search for potion bottle. So and I can see like there are lots of potion bottle and all those things and like bit complicated, bit complicated, simpler. So all kind of things are there. These are like somewhere in between. We can find all kind sort of things. We'll practice. Let me see this one. This one looks fine. It's a feeling. Everyone saw that same thing. It was a bit different, not like this. Okay, anyway, anything will work. So here you can see this is a part of texture. They use a photo texture and combined with this, and this entire thing is painted in Photoshop. Like this, you have to combine things and get the desired result. That's what is our goal to achieve that photo manipulation skill. Like whatever we want to create, we should be able to create that by either by photo bashing, either by painting over it. If you want to make it realistic, it should be look realistic, or if you want to create something stylized, it should look stylized or cartoonish or like anything like that particular style or whatever we're looking for, we're trying to create. We should be able to create that. That's the only goal. So let's create something like this. It's clearly visible. We can clearly understand and see this entire shape, this glass part, like created out of a like this thing. We can create a shape and create all this thing paint. And this is something is texture and some photo color dodge and burn all these things. So we can create this thing very easily. So what I'll do first thing first, control new and 1024. Make sure your image size at least 1024, like your canvas size, not below that. Otherwise, it will be really pixelated and low resolution. So make sure at least for one asset it should be 1024. If you want to go like increase the size, make sure go to 2K 2048 or like 4096 like that. So let's start with this. So I want to see both of this. So there's a Photoshop. There's an option. If you go to arrange, to see Windows arrange, there's an option like multiple layouts, two horizontal, two up vertical. So I can see both the window together. I can like work like this also. I can open it to see under this. We have lots of different layouts. So we can use any one of them and use it. Okay, so let's create this one. This background will create later. So as of now, what I'll do, I'll pick this color. I took this brush, press Alt, and pick this color somewhere like really dark blue. This one is selected. Go to layer. By default, background is white. So I filled that color. All this gradient and this texture, you can see there's a texture going on. Background also some amount kind of texture. That is something we'll add later. Let's start with this thing. So this is something we can do. You see, this is a perfect sphere, spherical shape. So either I can use a vector shape because like I prefer to use the vector shape. Reason so that if there's any issue or any problem in my shape or anything I want to modify, I can always go back and modify that. So that's why like, I prefer vector shape. I can create with pen tool, or I can use this marquee circle like this, press shift and create a circle, a sphere, circle. I can do that as well, right? Very easily. That is something like you can create this, but problem with this, if I want to modify anything, I have to redo it. That's the main problem. Or there will be a lot of like layers manipulation, add touch up here and there and everywhere. So it will be very difficult to like fix this. So I prefer to use shape. Press shift and drag, create a sphere. So you can see clearly this is a sphere. Then we have all this extension. Create this shape, double click, fill this blue color somewhere in between, not the lightest one, not the darkest one. Somewhere in between, fill any color. And you can see there like darker tones are there, the lighter tones are there. Somewhere in between, flat tone, just fill that. Then I have this shape, and suppose I want to extend this shape. So what I'll do, just give me a second. I'll place it here. Okay, now I have this shape and I want to modify and add all this neck and all this thing. So easiest way, I'll go pick pen tool, P for pen tool, and make sure it's in shape, not path. Path will give you only the path and selection, not the shape. So make sure select path and use that. So by default, this color is fixed, so it's already there. Now what I can do is like because I want to create this shape and it's in center. So how to like manually create this and make sure it's in center? You can do R, Control R for ruler. You can see instantly you got this ruler on both like your horizontally and vertically. So you can just simply Control T now. It will select that particular circle, and then you can just click on this ruler and drag left mouse button. It will snap to this grid center, and then press enter. So you have this center point, exact center point. So like this, you can create the now I can create one part and they can just flip it and create the other part. So now I know the exact center point and I can start working on this. Zoom in. If I want to zoom in here, I can do that also. Okay, it's almost straight. So easiest way will be is I can either create a square or rectangle shape, or I can create a shape with the help of pen tool. So let's create something with the help of, let's first I'll create the box till here. Then I will try to blended, soft, and make sure it blends really nicely. I'm pressing shift and dragging it so this line won't move, and blend it, alt, and it will snap to the surface automatically. So I have created this shape, this bottleneck. Okay, guys, just joined. So this shape I can create. So I want the exact same shape this side also. So what I'll do, I can have to deselect all the nodes, make sure it's not selected, then Control J, Control T, transform, and click on this center point and just simply drag, and it will snap automatically to this ruler, this guide. Enter. Sorry, Control T, move it to this corner, right click, flip horizontal, flip vertical. So flip horizontal. So these options are, you can see it's here. There is the option for where is my flip? It's here only. Okay. Somewhere. Under image rotation, you have this flip canvas, flip vertical option. So you can right click and do it. That will be much easier to do. You can do that. Okay. So now this shape, but now I can feel this neck is way too narrow and this neck is quite wide. So what I'll do, I select these two, Control E, merge them. So what happened? It will still retain the shape, that all those shapes, and it's a vector shape. It's still vector shape until unless I rasterize or merge it with any raster layer. So it's a vector shape still. So I can select P. So I can select P, and I can just simply, now you see this part is selected. So I have to click Control, click on this, and Control Shift, click on this. So select both of them. Control T, then press Alt and scale. It will proportionately scale it down, move it slightly down, make sure that edge is not visible. Nicely clean the neck. Then we have this cylindrical shape for this like base of this cap. So that is something we can create with the help of spherical like elliptical shape. Shift, sorry, no shift. Okay, right now I am in this thing, add mode. Sorry, above this. Make sure we select this above this. You can see wherever in the center, perfectly center, that center line will highlight. That means both the sides of this are equal, perfectly equal. Create that shape. The shape is ready, and this shape, this is like my top part. Then I have this base. So Control J, and this base layer, shift down, 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 like 2-3 times more. Then I have this entire shape, but I want to create this thickness also. So what I'll do, either pen tool, P, select this, create one more, just this one, move it up, Control, and just hover over this, click, Alt, cut this, and snap it here. Snap it here. You can see line is perfectly straight. Snap it here. Done. Basic shape. So we got the basic shape. Now we can create the entire all these things very easily. Make sure keep this top part separate. This thickness separate. Next, and these two, if I want, I can merge, because this is a one single part where we're going to add colors and all those things. So like, I can merge them. So this thickness and this top part, you can see there's a clear difference. There's a thick line, there's a clear difference. That's why we'll keep those two separate so that I can control it better. Okay. Now, what I can do, zoom out and zoom out. Like whenever I paint, and to remove the center thing, press Control. Oh, sorry, move. Press Control. Okay. Oh, press Control and drag to any of the sides. It will go. It will disappear. Or Control A or Control Z. Control H to hide. Okay. Now I have this basic shape, so I won't need to add all these lines. You can see we have tried all those glass materials and all those material study. So all those things we have to use here. Whatever we have learned from those things or those techniques, we have to implement those things here and create it. So brush B, and you can see everything is kind of soft blended. Everything is like softly blended, and they're like few really strong highlights. So we'll create those strong, sharp highlights in a separate layer, and all this rest like smooth blended tones will create in one layer. This is my soft blend. B, make sure select a soft brush, increase the brush size, and you can see it's clipped into this particular bottle only. So either if I want, I can pick this white directly, because if I use it with less intensity, it will be like light blue, or if it's more intensity, it will be full white. So I can pick full white and then start painting. So I have to check all these shapes now. And if you remember, like I kept this thing top part separate because we have this kind of this thing. What do you call it? This liquid, this part, this thickness, like first this width. I guess this width is visible. That is something we have to create. So that is something we can simply duplicate this area and place it here, because perspective also you have to match. So the amount of perspective applies here, the same perspective will be here, same perspective will be here. So we can just simply copy this here, and then create this shape. Okay, let's start with this. First thing first, let's start with the basic highlights. This corner you can see is quite bright. It's quite bright corner. I can see I'm painting from the almost from the outside, just to get those sharp edges. That is something I can get from a stroke very easily. Paint really bright and blend. Very less intensity. You can see I'm continuously increasing and decreasing to the brush size. So now I have added this basic white color, but still you can see if you zoom into this, like observation is very important. You can zoom into this. You can see there's a thickness line, then there's a white line, but there are some areas it's kind of gray in color. It's not exactly white. So what I'll do for this, control and click on this layer. It will create this entire selection. Then plus I will create another new layer under this bottle shape, and then what I can do is I can use it as is option stroke, and where I want to create outside this selection, and it's almost white. Oh my bad. Yeah, it's almost white. slightly yellowish tint is there. So like I cannot really see any yellow tint here, but if I just picked it, so I can see there's some slight yellow is mixed with that white, and I can select the width like 4 pixels. Let's see, 4 pixels. Yeah, 4 pixels work perfectly. I got that thickness, and on that particular thickness, you can see there's a slightly grayish color, and there's slight shadow. So I'll take one more layer here, flip into this, view, brush once again, one more time, and this is, you can see 100 almost black, and I'll add this shadow. See, separate layer. So make sure keep your highlight and shadow separate. And you can see the corner is a shadow. To make anything round, we add shadows to the corner and highlight the center, like based on the direction of light. So the corners are slightly darker, and we have like a light reflection here. Then you can see there's shadow, and there's a shadow. Just to get this neck roundness. Let's see, is there any dark area? This area only. That's it. We got this. Now you can see this cap and this two part are separate. Similar thing, over this stroke part, I'll create one more layer and flip into this. Or I can just simply paint on that also, but I'll try to keep everything separate. Shadow. That's too much. Shadow. This side, shadow. Slight shadow here. You see, slightly shadow. There's a grayish tint, slightly grayish tint. Okay. So this basically shadow highlights and all these things I have added. So let's now I want to create this sharp highlight. How to create that? One more blank layer, empty layer, and what I can do, control, either I can create this spherical shape with the help of this marquee tool. Select this, control, shift and drag. You can see it's center. You can see that highlight. Wherever you can see that highlight, that will be in perfect center. Create this shape. This is only and only selection just to create this sharp line. B, your white. I won't touch this corner. Control D. So I got this sharp line. So now I can see the base is way too bright. So I can reduce the base, the whiteness slightly down. Now you can see like clear separation. So that's why we create everything in a separate layer, so you can always go back and modify it very easily. Then I have this, you can see this very nice, clean bottle shaped thing. For this, what I'll do, create one more layer again. I'm keeping the shadow at the top, and just all the highlights creating under that only. Control, click on this shape, it will create the selection. Entire selection, but I can see it's exact same shape but bit inside. So what I'll do, I'll go to select. There's an option select, and here you can see there's so many options. Invert means invert your selection. Then all layers, select all the layers, deselect all the layers, find particular layer, isolate layer. You can do all the thing. Color range. If you want to select some particular color range, if you select this, so it will select this particular color range. Whatever color you have selected here, it will make a selection out of it. If I pick this, it will show that. If I pick this one, it will show this one. So like this also, I can change selection. This is something like very useful tool if you have a really complex like photo or something and where you want to remove some particular color. So you can select it with this and change it, replace it with some other color. It is a very handy tool. So like this, you can modify. So basically, I have to modify my selection. So I have to contract it. I have to reduce, contract the selection area. So what I'll do, I'll go to contract. You see, under modify, there's an option contract. So it seems like 4 5 pixels. So let's 5 6 pixels. I'll try. 6 pixels is still too low. So I'll go back to selection one more time. Modify, contract, another 6 pixels. Maybe slightly even like 6 6 12. So another 6 pixels. Yeah, this looks fine, right? Around 18 pixels. So around 18 pixels, and now I have a blank this thing. So this time you can see this time I have to paint the other side, not inside this layer. I have to paint outside this selection. So what I'll do, I have to invert it. Either I can press Control Shift I or select, and there's the option invert. Shortcut is Control Shift I. So now if you zoom out, you can see basically the selection is Control Shift I inverted. So now I cannot paint anything inside, I can paint only outside. So again, same thing. B, that white color. So I want this corner to be like really bright. And just to hide the selection, because sometimes this all these lines, dotted lines are visible, so it might be difficult to see if it's blending or not. What you can do, Control H. Selection is still there, it's just not visible. You can if selection is still there, it's just not visible. So painted this, and I feel this is like way too strong, and corners are bit brighter. So I can reduce the brush size. I'll make the corner slightly brighter and stronger, maybe 1 pixel or something. Control D to deselect. Then reduce the intensity. Oh, one more thing. Control. So I have the selection. So one thing I just noticed, if I zoom into this, there's a dark tone exactly opposite to this, right? Next to this thing. So I'll select this one. I have this selection, Control Shift I, invert it, create another layer, B, pick this dark color, and zoom in, Control H, hide it, and now I'll add that darker tone. So basically, enhance that corner edge and make it look really prominent. So you can see there's a small dark patch. Control D, deselect. I can paint the dark patch here manually. A dark patch. Always like look for like shapes, like try to identify those shapes. You can see there's a like oval shape patch. There's another shape. You can see slightly elongated. So always try to identify shapes so it will become very easy to paint. Okay. Okay, save this file. What if like this will happen? Okay. I save it as CSC. Bottle or something. I save it. Okay. Now we have this this thickness. I want to have this thickness. So what I'll do, I'll select this top part, Control J, duplicate that and move it down here and B, or maybe I can move it down. No, that's fine. That will be fine. Then simply press Shift and drag it so that it's it will be at the same in the center only. Like press Control, Control Alt. Yes, Alt, press Alt and drag it. It will proportionally scale it down and place it wherever feel like, and just to get this line also, Control J, below one B, somewhere here. Control C. Don't worry about all these edges and all. That is something we remove it because I don't need those things. So now what I'll do, like this shape is required, this shape is required, this shape is not required. So I'll just hide it. Or I can see there's a really strong shadow and there's a really strong highlight. So what I'll do, I'll just control click, select this one. So now I got this nice clean shape and this highlight, a blank empty layer, being text white color, and create that highlight. Control D. Now I want to outline here as well. So this part is not required at all. I need some selections. Those I'll use this only and only for selection. Now the shape. Control C. You can see it's like 1 pixel penetrating into this. I'll reduce it by 1 pixel. Now I have this control new layer B. I can see this is shadow. And whenever you create this kind of thickness, or shadow will be like the shadow and highlight will be opposite side as compared to the front side. Control D. So now you have this slightly darker tone. So I feel it's a little bit too much. So I can just reduce it slightly. And plus this highlight. Again, select this one. I can use a stroke, new layer, stroke, and just select this white color. Sorry, white. White, gray color. Okay. The 4 pixel is way too much for this. Reduce. Like I'm just falling down. The 2 pixel will be fine. Yeah, 2 pixel is fine. Control D. It's a separate layer altogether. And if I want to blend it nicely, I can pick this color and Control Shift Enter. So I can make this really nice gray tone, like blends with this edges. And just to blend it, like make it white and all, I can use Dodge Burn. Dodge, it will make bright, and Burn will make things darker. I can use Dodge Burn to make things change like this. And plus there's a glow. So that glow will add in the last. Okay. This shape, and there's a dark tone. So I'll pick one more layer. I'll pick this data point of my brush. There's a distinct difference between these two. You see your difference in painted. Okay. Now same thing again. Selection, contract around 12. Around 12. Let's have to see with this one. We paint it and then contract it one more time, another 12 pixels, and then delete it. So we create that clean line. 12 is way too much. It might be like 8 or 9. Maybe modify, sorry, not feather, contract, paste, delete. I got that line. Then base, you can see this is a nice curve. Either you can create a new shape like separately all together entirely like and try to move and place it, like find the center point perfectly center new layer blue color this is blue. Like this will add one thing at a time and all those things nicely. So like to create this kind of shape I can use the pen tool and just use the path not shape. As there's like only 2 minutes left, so just quickly show. I'll complete this tomorrow. Like this shape. This is slightly curved. It's not perfectly straight. Shape. And this is basically white with the edges are blended. So double click, I'll fill like white. Don't worry about this like solid shape. And I'm going to add like one more shape. Then we got these two selections. And now if I want to make it like this transparent or translucent, I can apply a mask to my vector shape, then paint with brush, black, and then I can reduce the opacity overall. Oh, I painted some, oh my bad. I just picked that white part as well. Okay, I'll fix that and update that image quickly. और जो देवाशीष पृथ्वीराज गोविंद शोभन. Okay.